BarbacoaCore.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for listening to another episode of the BarbacoaCore Podcast. It's been a while, but I'm doing this podcast with somebody that I used to do a show with a while back. The
Quarantine Buddies.
Quarantine Buddies podcast. Welcome, the wife.
Hello.
What's up, wife? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I've been trying to go put out podcast, keep on a schedule, do a weekly schedule stuff, but the motivation is not there to do it. And I'm changing up the format too of the BarbacoaCore Podcast. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I wanted to put out this one today because today is, what's today?
The 30th.
The 30th
of June.
So we're going into July, and I'm doing a thing again where I'm going on a July Hiatus. Where I am going to not drink all month.
That's going to be very interesting.
I've done it before. I've done months at a time.
When was the last time that you done a 30-day sober challenge?
It's been over a year.
Right?
It's been over a year there. But I have to do it, especially with this whole shutdown and being at home all the time, and the getting out of quarantine, or probably going back and forth from phase 1 to phase 2, back into phase 1. They might shut the city down again. We don't know yet. But the numbers, the COVID numbers have been rising, spiking. Shit's insane.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole quarantine, my drinking has gone up. If I don't go out, I don't drink and drive. Hardly. You'll hardly catch me drinking and driving. Try not to do it if at all possible. But since I've been staying home, drinking hard almost every day.
Yeah.
And it's caught up to me. It's gotten to the point where I'm hungover almost every other day, especially on the weekends. And doing that, it really kind of puts your body in a sensitive state. To where you're tired, you're run down, you're weak. And that's really not what my body should be doing, especially if there's a pandemic virus going on, To the point where, every time I get hungover, I start feeling sick. Oh, shit, this is, I got COVID. The past 3 days or so have been pretty bad. I drank pretty hard on Saturday. Did a pack and a half of White Claws, weird flex. But did
it's not 3 days. You were sick for 2 days.
But I felt it. I still feel kind of weak today, because I'm not at 100%. And I really think the drinking has caught up to me, caught up to my body and stuff. Because I don't drink like other people do. They'll have one or two and then they'll call it, But me, I go too hard, too fast, because now that my tolerance has been built up, so now it takes more to get me a little buzzed. So my plan is to try to refrain from alcohol for the whole month. I was gonna start 2 days ago, but you wanted a beer today, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the last day, so let's get some
I just
beers.
want to go out with a bang. You have to drink on the last day if you are gonna go on a July Hiatus.
July Hiatus.
If you're gonna do that, for a whole month, and even possibly I'm not gonna get ahead of ourselves, but even if you go further than that, you do want to end June with a cheers. Just have a drink. And all we did was get a tall boy. I actually been wanting beer for a while, and drink it with my buddy right here, my quarantine buddy.
Yeah, we got a couple of, and before we left, we were she's like, I just want one tall boy. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I was gonna get 2 or 3, but I just got one. So we're gonna drink this one. I'm gonna take it easy. Don't need to take it to the extreme.
Because I could drink 2 drinks and be good.
And be
I
good.
could do 3 drinks.
Most people can
and be good.
Most people can, and that's where I'm trying to get my tolerance back at. To where, a shot in beer, and maybe just another beer, and
boom,
that's it.
Like that's your relaxer.
Get to that good sweet spot, and then just coast, just chill.
Yeah.
Or even like, oh man, like a one cold beer, happy hour beer or whatever, is just all you need to like be good, be okay,
Like I said on the previous podcast, like I need that drink after work.
Yeah.
And it's just one beer. Like it could just be like a happy hour Pilsner, like like a little 12 ounce or a 16 ounce or whatever that restaurant is like that I go to. That happy hour price, as long as it's on draft and I could just chill and just have that drink to like relax myself before I come home, like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Like it feels good to drink just a beer before I come home.
Like it's even gotten so bad that we recorded a couple of episodes of the podcast, but I couldn't release it, or I wouldn't release it because I was so drunk on those. And I don't like being able to look on the outside looking in. I was like, man, that's really bad. I never think that I am that bad.
Yeah, you never do think you're that bad.
But then when I listened to it like the next day, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like it's not fun. It used to be fun. Drinking used to be very fun, and just with the whole quarantine happening, and where I'm stuck home all the time. I'm not going out. I'm not doing shows. I'm not, whatever. Because when comedy was going on and I'm out, I wouldn't drink. I wouldn't really drink.
Yeah.
And if I did, I would just have the one, and the one would be good enough, And so it's kind of gotten out of hand. I mean, nothing bad, but just the whole having to recover the next day just makes it like kind of hard to keep doing that and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to keep up too. Like, I know that you still have a hard time with me not drinking with you.
Because you'll be done with two drinks, and you're like,
so
done.
like I
like,
try.
I still have like all this beer left in the fridge.
I try to like drink with you and like keep up, and that last 2 Saturdays ago, I was sick as a dog to the next day.
But I do blame that. I wanted to keep the bottle because I wanted to like have a reminder of that's a bad liquor. But I think it's called like Square One or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a new. It's organic vodka, but it had like cucumber flavoring on it. It was a square bottle, and so when you drank that, and to be fair, I did pour you a lot, and you did do a good amount of that vodka, but you were like pretty bad the next day.
Yeah, I
like
wanted
really
to die.
bad. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I can't be that bad, what?
He always thinks I'm faking it when I am hungover.
Faking it. I think you're just over exaggerating.
Faking, yeah.
Because I could work through my hangovers, because I have to. I mean, I have to go to work. I have to, be productive. So I have to work through it. It's miserable and all that stuff, but so
I couldn't function. I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. Like I couldn't hold anything down. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But
I slept all day.
Yeah. But it had to be that liquor too, because I had a couple of shots, maybe 3 shots
the next day,
a couple of days after, and I got sick. I got really hungover, and it was just a couple of shots and then a couple of drinks or whatever. So it had to be that. Like there's certain. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I had to get rid of the bottle because every time you would pass by, you're like, get rid of that thing.
I have flashbacks of me throwing up.
Yeah, it was really that bad. And so I don't want to get like that. And then this past couple of days, my body was like so weak, just in recovery mode and all that stuff. And then the whole thing too, when I drink that much, like my brain is like lit up. I'm in my happy zone. Serotonin's going off and all that stuff. Well, that burns out.
When you're in what?
When like after drinking, getting to a certain level of like buzzed or drunk, I guess. Like all my the happy senses in my brain just are lit up. They're burning hot, you know.
But they
And so,
also aren't like that either.
what do you mean they're not like that?
Like you get into your serotonins and all that, but then they drop really low too.
Yeah.
When you're in the same drinking cycle, like when you're still, like say for instance on a Saturday and you're drinking, and then you get into your serotonin levels are all high.
They burn out.
That same night,
Yeah.
they'll burn out and they'll get really low. Like you won't have any, and then that's when like.
That's how I am when I'm hungover. Is like my serotonin levels are so low and all that stuff. Like even if I take that 5-HTP, that's supposed to help like rejuvenate or replace the serotonin that you burned out the night before. That doesn't work for me anymore. Like it just makes me more nauseous and all that stuff. So I like when I'm hungover, I start feeling even more down, even more like sad, you know, just about the hangovers and stuff. And so the past few days, I felt weak. Felt shaky, you know. I have my muscles are like achy and all that stuff, and those are all symptoms of COVID. And so I'm freaking out, thinking like, oh, I got it, you know, like it's just really bad. I was sluggish yesterday. I was eating soup and tea, took a hot shower, put Vicks on my feet because I thought that's what's going on. I thought I was in the early stages of COVID.
You can't think like that. Like you can't. And you have to realize like your patterns and what's causing you to feel this way instead of jumping straight into the conclusions that you're sick. Yeah. Especially with COVID. You can't joke around with stuff like that.
But I'm one of those hypochondriacs, man. If like, and that's another thing too. Like I have to stop getting into people's stories like on Facebook because like it's everywhere. It's becoming closer and closer to our circle, you know.
Yeah, my siblings have it and they're struggling right now with that and their family members, and it's just heartbreaking to hear. And I think knowing and getting these updates of how everybody's doing, I think it's getting to your mind, and anything that is wrong, or if you feel like you can't breathe or you sneezed or you just had like a sniffle, like you were saying that you have COVID, and that's not something that you need to do, especially right now.
Yeah, and just like compromising my immunity,
especially with the drinking like that, like it's not good.
Not good right now, you know. Because I mean, we stay home and we keep it safe pretty much. You have work obligations that you don't want to say no to. You know, I had a few comedy shows that have also been canceled since then that I said yes to that have since been canceled. Because we have that whole thing where we don't want to say no to these opportunities, because if we say no, they're not going to come back around. We're going to
get passed up or not even considered for
the next time, you know, all that stuff. I mean, there's different things. That's your job. This is something that I want to do, you know, pursue comedy and do comedy shows. And once you start saying no to these opportunities, people are just going to like pass you up and all that stuff.
They're going to say, oh, they're not invested, or this is something that they don't take serious, or stuff like that.
So yeah, that's another thing. So July, the new challenge, and I've done it before, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm kind of like looking forward to it. I like putting challenges on myself. But all of July, no alcohol, deleting Facebook off my phone. Still have it on the computer, you know, whatever, but delete it off the phone. Maybe even Instagram. Just keep it on.
Are you going to delete your Messenger?
No, that's how I talk to people. That's, you know, just take a break from that, you know, just recharge from that and recharge my body by not consuming alcohol like I was, and I'm recharging my mind by not giving into all those stories, the negativities, all that stuff, because it's just it's too much, especially if that's the only thing that's going on right now. There are no other distractions besides social media. So when it gets worse, or if like as the stories keep adding up, the bad stories and all this stuff, it's just it really takes a toll on your mind, how you feel, and all that stuff. You know, the environment around you. It's really bad. So I just want to take a break from that. I don't think that'll be too hard. I don't think alcohol is going to be too hard either, because you're not really a big drinker. You drink very rarely and all that stuff. So it's not like you're going to be bringing home alcohol and like you drink it and I can't, you know, whatever. But I think it'll be fine. I think we'll have a good time with that.
So if you're going to stop drinking,
I'm not saying that you have to stop. I'm not saying that you have to stop because
Okay.
you know how to control it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but you like different drinks than I do. You know.
So if I want to drink, am I gonna have to drink it before I get home?
No, you could drink it here. Like you have certain beers in the fridge that I won't drink. You know, you felt like Dos Equis. I like Dos Equis, so we both got Dos Equis. And I'm not saying that you can't drink. You could, of course, you could drink. You know,
Well, no one tells me what to do, so
okay, that's okay.
it's true.
No, you're right. But no, I mean,
I just don't like that.
This is my challenge. It's not
like
your
certain
challenge. You can
things-
do whatever you want.
Yeah, but when you say that, then it comes out as me being selfish because I
No,
want a beer or
Not at
I
all.
want calamari or you're not even paying attention.
No, I'm hearing you.
Like if I want calamari or, you know, sushi or a Dos Equis, like it comes out as selfish because you said you can have whatever you want.
All right, you want to talk about calamari?
Go ahead.
So, it's a story, and when I tell people this story, they're either on my side or totally like you're ridiculous. But whatever.
So I'm selfish, everybody.
Our anniversary dinner,
Selfish.
shellfish. Our anniversary dinner. This was like a couple anniversary dinners ago and all that stuff. It was pretty early on too.
Like our 3-year
it
anniversary.
was our 3rd year anniversary.
Or 5 maybe. Or 5-year wedding anniversary. One of those.
Early
It was
on.
early.
And we went to
We're going on 8 years.
8 years.
Married, yeah.
Shit.
Going on.
Yeah. We went to what's that restaurant called? It's an Italian restaurant. I can't think of the name and all that stuff. But-
Maggiano's?
Maggiano's. And so I said, I'll pick the dessert, and you pick the appetizer, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I did say whatever I want, and I left that in the story because that is a very important part of the story. Whatever you want, you pick the appetizer, I'll pick
Dessert.
the dessert, you know. Now, when I'm picking a dessert, even though it is my choice and I get final say, I am going to make sure that I pick a dessert that my wife is also going to enjoy. Yes, it may not be her favorite, but it will be something that she does still enjoy. Now, that being said, wait, time out. Just a side note, maybe it has something to do with the story, maybe it doesn't. I do not like calamari.
You don't not like?
I do not like calamari. I don't like the texture of it.
No, you said I don't not like it. So that means you're okay with
I
it.
corrected myself. I do not, have not, will not like calamari. I don't like the texture of it. I don't like what it is. I don't like it. Do not like it. She knows this. And yes, before you ask, have you tried it before? Yes, I've tried calamari before, and that's how I know that I don't like the texture. So knowing this, waiter comes and she says, "Yes, can we have the fried calamari?" And I was like, "All right, that's it. We're done here.
Divorce.
We are done here because of all the appetizers. That was the one and only thing that I would not want." And
You should have said you can have whatever you want except.
I shouldn't have to say except.
Well, I mean, you
should
said get
know.
whatever you want.
But you're ordering for the table. Get whatever you want for the table. So, she ordered calamari. I had it because it's fried. I'm not going to pass out anything fried.
still
Pass up
ate
anything
it.
fried. I had some, but I didn't go off on it. But yeah, I thought that was a very rude thing. And then we told a couple people, and she thinks it's funny. And I'm thinking like, that was.
You're like, be on my side.
Yeah, be on my
She should have
side.
never ordered it.
Yeah. So write in. Let me know what you would have done. What you think. BarbacoaCore@gmail. Let me know if you would have done that to your spouse on their wedding anniversary. Had it been any other night,
Okay.
any other night besides our wedding anniversary.
No,
we're
because
there
any other time,
to
like,
celebrate our wedding.
when
It's
we
not
will
like
go
we're like,
eat
oh, let's just try this
And
place
just like
out.
on date night or something, I'll order
But this is our
fried shrimp
wedding
and
yeah,
surf and turf.
I
Like,
don't
I'll order a steak and shrimp or something. You still say the same thing. You would still say the same thing. Why would you order that? I don't like shrimp. I don't like seafood. I don't like this.
Okay, granted, yes, and I'll still eat it because it's food, and I'm a fat guy, so I'm still gonna eat it. But the whole thing is, the point of it is, you should have ordered something for the table on our wedding anniversary that we both would have enjoyed. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. How do we get there? What do we say?
Because go.
You go.
I already forgot.
You already forgot. But yeah,
You say that I'm selfish so many times a week.
not a
And
week. It's been a while since
Please.
I said selfish. It's been a while.
No,
Yeah.
that I am not gonna, because I don't want to, get hurt, and I don't want my feelings to not be validated, and I don't want to go through that, and I don't want to be mad at you, and I don't want to be resentful towards you, because I do hold a grudge, and I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in that. I don't want that to cloud up my mind. Like, there's so much stuff going on, and you and I should be a team right now, and I just don't want to be mad at you. So I don't get whatever I want. I had to rise above. I was worried about me leaving and you being on your own for 2 weeks during quarantine.
I wasn't worried about that. I was actually going to take that opportunity to maybe go back into the like a diet and stuff, because I've gained a lot of weight. I'm getting a lot of weight. I went up 2 pant sizes. I went from a 36. Well, sometimes I wear
It's
38.
one.
It depends on the cut of the jeans. But most of my jeans are 36. I have one pair of 38s. But
I guess you did go to 2 pant sizes.
yeah, I had to go.
I thought it was just 1 pant size.
Yeah, because before I was supposed to do a comedy show a couple weekends ago, the same weekend that she got the vodka poison, and I had to run to the store to get pants because none of my pants in the house fit, and I was like, oh, this is pretty depressing and all that stuff. And then I was debating, do I buy 1 pair of pants, 2 pair of pants, and she's like, no, just get 1 because you're gonna lose weight.
Yeah. You shouldn't be happy, especially knowing that you gained the weight. Like, you shouldn't be okay with that.
I'm not okay with it, but I mean that's what happened. But going back to your point, so I was gonna go back into, because I can eat very simple stuff. I eat a lot of stuff because you bring a lot of stuff in the house, and if it's here, I'm gonna eat it. That's always been my mentality, and I'm here all the time. I work home, I live home, So if it's here, I'm gonna eat it, which is a very bad habit, but that's just my habit, Same thing with alcohol. If it's there, I'm gonna drink it. But I was planning on going back into maybe like a keto type of diet. Very definitely like cutting back on like the sugar drinks and all that stuff. Because I could live simple like that. We just have more options because you bring more options, when you grocery shop. So I was because you were gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're gonna be gone for 2 whole weeks and stuff. So I would have figured it out.
I know, but like, you're so very like dependent on everything that I do.
Yeah.
That I know, but like, it's not funny. Like, yes, like, we both have our roles and stuff, but like, I think that we should be more appreciative of each other and not just expect things to be done.
You're really coming out guns a-blazing on this.
I'm
pod.
not.
What
I'm
is
just
going on
saying.
here?
Like, it's just like, I was really concerned that, like, even up to like the weekend, like, you didn't want to do anything, like, even pour yourself something to drink. Like, come on now.
Well, because I was gonna miss that. My wife is going for 2 weeks. Who else is gonna do this? Nobody else is gonna do this. Let me have my wife do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the problem with that? I don't think there's a problem with that.
There is no problem with that. It's just being more appreciative about it.
I say thank you. I say please.
Okay.
What do you want?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just...
See, no, now that's not fair.
No,
that's
like,
not fair. You can't be that person to like...
You are the exact same way.
No, I tell you exactly what I want.
No.
Yes, I do.
No.
Anyway, we can't just go back yes, no, yes, no. but I do. That's it. So when I say please and thank you, and I ask you nicely, and I praise everything. Like if you make a dinner, I'll tell you how good it is and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's what I do.
But like that. But there's times that you're okay.
Now it's getting real.
Yeah,
she forgot that she had a microphone in her hand.
It's gonna get real. So that the reason why. Okay, the story about a couple of weeks ago, you drank so much that you were drunk, and you were drunk really fast. Like I don't know if you were mixing your whiskey and your beer,
yeah,
or what it was, but you barked orders at me, and like you demanded me to start making you something to eat. And then while stuff was cooking, you got mad because it wasn't served. And it wasn't in front of you, that you stomped and you got in front of me while I was at the stove waiting for it to continue cooking. And you served yourself, and I wasn't even done cooking it. And you ate it all without even like nothing. And then you made it seem like, oh, I'm not important to you. You can't even do a simple thing, then feed me. Like... And you were just mad, and like, of course, I was on my phone because I was cooking. I was standing up at the stove, and you just got so mad and served yourself. The burners were still on, everything was still cooking, and you served yourself and you ate, and you were just mad. But then, like 10 minutes after you finished eating, you passed out. So that's how I know that you were fucking too drunk to even know what you were doing.
Okay.
But like, you don't realize that you do stuff like that.
Well, because I'm drunk. And that's another thing too why I need to probably cut back on drinking, because I get the munchies when I've been drinking, and I just want to eat.
You turn into a bear.
Yeah, I just want to eat and all that stuff. That I don't remember that. I apologize. But and that's the whole thing. Like I need to cut back my drinking so I could adjust the control.
Yeah.
Of what I have, I need to appreciate the buzz, because for a while I was like, oh, I'm just about the destination. I don't care about the journey. I just want to get there.
Yeah.
And
the whole after part isn't fun. It isn't fun for yourself, and it puts you in like the last 2 days. Like I felt like I was in pins and needles. Like I didn't know what to do or what to say, because I knew that you didn't feel well. But you also had this look on your face, and you seem sad. Like, so I think that's not.
I thought I was getting sick. I legit thought I was getting sick.
Yeah, like I could see it in your face, like and
because that's how.
That's not good for you.
Cold and flus. That's how. Like that's the first thing that happens to me, is that I feel weak. I feel body.
Yeah,
aches
and when you
but that's
hardly
the same
ever
thing that happens when I'm hungover.
You hardly ever get sick, and when you do, it gets bad. And you haven't been sick in like 3 years, 4 years, knock on wood.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like when I'm hungover, I don't know. Like, okay, now I've made myself vulnerable. I made my immune system vulnerable. Is this the time I'm gonna be attacked with COVID?
Yeah.
So
you just shouldn't subject yourself to feeling that way, to feeling sick, to feeling down, especially at this time. Like, there's so many things going on right now that's already putting people in a depression, or putting people in a panic, or putting people, at a weaker state, that we shouldn't be doing that to our mind.
Yeah.
Because it is like, I believe in mind over matter, and if we're clouding our heads with so much negativity, we're gonna make ourselves sick. Like, that's bad for our immune system.
Yeah, that runs in the family. My grandma will get like that a lot. Like she with her stress, stress of something that's going on, like out like in the family or something. She would stress so much, or she would be so depressed, so sad, so much that she would make herself sick.
Yeah,
physically sick. And so I mean that's not a good thing, but I know, and I'm well aware, but it starts with the drinking. It has to.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like for a while, and I'll be honest, for a while, I would lean on the hangovers to be like, oh well, that's why I'm sad, You know, that's
Yeah.
why I feel down and all that stuff. Because there's a time before I started the therapy, there was a time where like I would just be sad and I wouldn't know why. I couldn't figure out why. And so now I'm giving the power of that to being hungover. It's like, oh, I'm not sad, I'm just hungover.
Yeah.
You know, and I started relying on that to be why I don't feel 100%, why I don't feel myself, why I don't feel happy and all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'm sad, but maybe I'm just hungover, and maybe
Yeah.
that's all it is.
But we just had to be stronger than that.
Yeah,
Like both of us, like to not put ourselves in that situation if we know that that's our go-to.
yeah,
If our go-to is to have things trigger our depression or our, anxiety, because I have anxiety all the time. Like,
yeah,
but my anxiety hasn't gotten that bad to where like I get depressed about stuff. I
Yeah.
get stressed out like crazy.
You have this thing where like you hardcore empathize. So like especially right now with like a lot of stuff going on with like your siblings, your extended family, you stressed out about that.
Yeah.
And that's harder. Like for me, it's all internal. For you, it's like all like a lot of people around me are hurting. So that's when you start feeling the stress, feeling the
I carry a lot
anxiety,
of people's burdens
You
on my
do.
shoulders,
Yeah.
and so I know that like since
And it's
I
gotten
know
pretty
that I
heavy
worry
recently,
about
yeah.
stuff, so that I don't worry, I try to get ahead of it. And instead of like hearing the bad news, I prepare myself and I check on people
Yeah.
so that I know that this information is coming my way.
Yeah.
Because it does break my heart. It does hurt that my sisters are hurting. My brother-in-laws are sick, or their mom, like my late father's wife is in the hospital. Like it hurts my heart knowing that my sisters are in so much pain. And so instead of hearing it like out of nowhere, I check on them and I know that this information is coming my way.
Yeah.
Because it does. Like I didn't know. I knew that she was in the hospital or that they were in the hospital, but I didn't know like the details of it. So when I got the update, like it broke my heart and I was crying.
Yeah.
So now I know that this is going on, and I do it to check on them first, so that I just won't get bombarded with like bad news and bad news and bad news.
Yeah.
Because we have to get ahead of whatever our trigger is. We have to get ahead of it and not put ourselves in that situation to either be sad or be upset or be stressed out or this or that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about like you're drinking. Like if you know that you get depressed the day after, then maybe you shouldn't drink so much.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Nothing is wrong with people drinking or having a drink or 3 drinks or maybe even 6 drinks. Like but getting to the point where you have 10, if you know 7 is your limit, then you shouldn't go for 10.
Yeah.
Or if you know that 4 is your limit, you shouldn't go for 7. You know,
Yeah.
like don't hit that point or push that button when you know what is on the other side.
Yeah.
And
for
that's
sure. Yeah.
what we fall victim of, and we put ourselves in that situation, is that we go with no limits and we know the consequences, but we still do it. And that's what people had to get out of, like stop going to that extent. Like there's no reason, especially if you know that it's doing your body and your mind bad.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. So I'm glad that you're realizing that, and I'm glad that like you're gonna dedicate this month to yourself and your well-being and your health and your mental state, to not be that anymore. Like not drink so much.
Yeah. Cause the whole thing was like drinking took a big part of my day to day just because of the non-productivity.
Yeah.
You
didn't have to go anywhere.
I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't going.
Having to go to the office.
Yeah. Like, so I need to. I thought I could coast without like having a thing, and I really thought like, oh, well, I don't, because a lot of people who are going through this, who are still in the shutdown phase of their life, they don't have a day job. They have their whole day open, and so they're taking that time to do other things, which is great. But because I'm at work, I think, well, that's my thing for the day. So when I'm off work, okay, let's pour a drink, let's watch Netflix, and let's just keep that going until I have to go back to work, to go back to my thing.
Yeah.
So I need to not rely on that. I need to separate, like, just because I'm at work doesn't mean I'm doing anything productive for myself. I gotta do maybe read more, maybe write more, maybe get into start some projects with some buddies of mine. Because everybody has ideas. We always throw around ideas. We just don't follow through.
Yeah.
And I just need to start following through with the things that I want to do. Because if I don't, that's when the drinking was on the uptick.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, well, like, I'm not doing anything else, because I'm drinking. And drinking makes me so lazy.
Yeah.
Drinking makes me very lazy.
We were supposed to go on walks every other night, and it stopped. Maybe we should start that up tomorrow too, starting July. Like, do our walks every other day, and then push ourselves to build our endurance to be able to run the way we said we were too, because we already mapped out our whole running area.
And time's going by so fast. Like, we were supposed to be in this running regimen by July.
Yeah.
And we just stopped doing that. I need to take more accountability and stuff, because I don't do that to you. I don't say, like, oh, we should go for a walk if you just came home off of 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
Because you spend 8 hours on your feet. You're running around all day.
Yeah,
so
running around.
I can't rely on you to, like, say, okay, well, now let's go. So I need to be more self motivated to go, like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go take a walk. Go take a walk for a little bit.
Yeah, but you need to go out in the sun during the day too. Like, you need to go do a 15-minute walk, even if it's around the complex. Like,
no, I know. I need to change
on your lunch break, because you used to do that at work when you were at the office.
So I got to start doing that. Working on some projects. Maybe get my buddies involved on some podcasting stuff. Doing writing groups and all that stuff. I need to get motivated, because I'm not. And when I'm not, then I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not doing nothing else, then let's drink.
Let's pop open a beer or buy a bottle or
Yeah. When what's so crazy is, like, I can only have one bottle in the house at a time, and I see people that have, like, a whole bar full. It's like, how are you not drinking that right now? Like, it's not over until the bottle's empty. Like, there's not been a time where a bottle that I get on Friday makes it all the way to Monday.
That never happens.
That's not a thing, and I don't know how people could do that.
And I want a bar. Like, I want to have.
Jeez, I would die.
I want to have, like, a few bottles of whiskey, a few different bottles of tequila, of course vodka, because that's my go-to.
Yeah.
I want to have a few things so that I'll be able to not have to make a run to the liquor store or to the grocery store to go buy beer. Like, I want to be able to have something so I could just pour when I get home and just have that and then just chill.
Yeah, I need to get better at that, to, like, where
because I would love to have a bar. Like, I would love it.
Yeah, so we're not rushing to the liquor store. We got to wait till Thursday to go to the liquor store when we wouldn't want to drink on Tuesday.
Yeah, because of course there's liquor stores that are open, but we go to a local woman-owned liquor store that's down the street. So the hours since COVID, they changed their store hours, and now they're only open Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah.
And they even close early too. I think they close like at 8.
Yeah.
So by the time I get home or by the time we're done with dinner, like, we don't have time to go and do that. So yeah, it would be nice to, like, still continue buying from this liquor store, but we could have our backup here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be in my my future to ever stop drinking.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be a thing.
And, like,
what I need to do, I need to enjoy the 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Like,
and like I said, like, nothing is wrong, but it's when you start making bad decisions or drinking too much, because we don't do anything bad. Like, we're at home, of course, even more now than ever, but we don't make poor choices under the influence. Like, we're home, we drink responsibly, but we just don't want to.
But DUIs are like COVID. They're around. Like, they're in our circle.
Yeah.
DUIs, DWIs, whatever.
Some have more than others.
They're in our circle. Yeah, it's
But yeah, like, we just don't want we just want to have a backup. Like, you just want, nothing's wrong with beer. Like, nothing's wrong with alcohol. It's just the way you're abusing your body and your mind.
It's all about self-care. Like, I need to respect myself, my body more and all that stuff. Because the older I get, I mean, I need to take care of that stuff. The gym's opening up. Maybe go in the gym every now and then instead of drinking. You know, I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands now that I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
Which I need to take advantage of that. I need to take.
Well, yeah, and I'm for it. Like, I'm for us going for evening walks.
Yeah.
I'm for even going to the gym. Like, if we don't want to go too far. Yeah, like we need to be more productive with our time and be able to have more, like, honestly, like, even though we're together all the time, like, we need to engage with each other, like,
yeah,
do stuff together.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'm going to be putting out more of the BarbacoaCore podcast right now. I really want to switch up the format. Remember how I was doing the X Lives pod? You know, where I would talk to people about, like, you know, who were you before? Because most of my guests are comics. Like,
Yeah.
What were you? Who were you? What were you doing before you started focusing on comedy and all that stuff? And I did 10 runs of that, 10 episodes of that, and it just didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But I want to change this podcast, because usually it's just like, oh, we'll just talk shit, you know, whatever happens, you know. But and I did it on the last podcast with Justin Byers. You know, we just started from the beginning. Where'd you grow up? You know, what are your siblings? What's your family like? What was your school like? And just all that stuff. And everybody has little funny stories from their past, you know, like what made them who they are today. Of course, we'll talk about comedy. We'll get into that and all that stuff. But I want to get into, like, the backstories of people, you know, because although with comics, with local comics, whatever, at the open mics, yeah, we do talk and all that stuff, but maybe we don't really, you know, get into people's stories and all that stuff. And I want to know who these people are. You know, I want to get into the stories, give them a format to, like, tell their story, you know, and maybe we don't have to go down the line of, like, you know, where were you born, who are your siblings, or is your family still together, like, how's your family, like, dynamic and all that stuff. Maybe we just talk about, like, some old stories, you know, some old funny stories that happened, you know, and just dig into that, some questions on that, you know. So I really try to go into that structure when it comes to the BarbacoaCore podcast. I don't know if me and my buddies are going to start a different project. You know, we've talked about different projects going on. But I definitely, especially with me trying to be off of social media, mostly just Facebook, but off of social media and off of
just the
alcohol.
apps on your phone.
Just on my phone,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be on Twitter because that's, you know, just I throw little jokes here every now and then, and just it helps me keep, like, a placeholder of possible jokes that I might, you know,
use or work on
and all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. But for sure, the alcohol is going to be the most important thing. I want to get back to the point where, like, I can enjoy alcohol rather than not, like, just enjoy the fucking getting drunk and all that stuff.
I have another suggestion.
What's your suggestion?
Maybe you should work on your relationship with Cosmo.
But see, that's going to suffer too, because the only time I like the dog is when I've been drinking.
Or when I'm gone.
No, I don't like him when he's gone. I like him
when
up.
I'm gone.
What do you mean when you're gone?
Like, if I'm at work or something.
Yeah, he's in the cage.
No, he's not.
Yes. If I gotta be on my phone, if I gotta be, like, on a conference call, on a work call, I put him up, because he'll start barking.
In his kennel.
Yeah, in his kennel, because he'll start barking randomly. If you hear somebody, like, outside, he'll start barking, and I can't have that when I'm on the phone. But yeah, I mean, I don't like your dog unless I've been drinking, so he's gonna suffer. But that's his problem, not mine.
But look at him, he's so cute.
No, he's not. He's not. Let me explain the dog. He looks great on pictures. I posted a couple pictures of him.
All he does is post pictures of my dog.
When I'm drunk.
Okay.
That's the only time I like him. This dog does not like to be petted.
I'm petting him right now.
Because he looks so tense right now. He was asleep, and then you started petting his ear, and now he looks so, like, bothered. He's like a cat.
He's so cute.
He's like a cat. No, he's annoying. I want one of those dogs that smiles. You ever seen those dogs that smiles?
The pit bulls.
I don't know. They're not all pit bulls. There's some, like, I've seen collies. I've seen
I do want a collie.
Little terriers and all that stuff, where they actually, like, smile, you know. I just want a dog that smiles.
Cosmo gives side eye. That's
attitude.
a gift in itself.
No, that's attitude.
Not a lot of people could do the side eye.
He has attitude. He doesn't appreciate nothing. Look, there he goes again. He's like, I was asleep.
Side eye.
I was asleep.
Look at
I
that.
was asleep, and you woke
Pro.
me for this.
You're
Stop
a pro.
touching me. That's exactly what he's saying. All right, that's it. Anything else you want to go over? You went hard. You know that,
I love
right?
you.
You went hard. You went hard in the paint.
I love you.
You're like, now that I have your attention, I don't like when you do this, and I don't like when you do this.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's truthies.
I'll probably edit it out.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Like, that's the only way that things get worked on.
I was not prepared for that.
I will probably still have a drink or two here and there, but I'm
No,
not going to,
you're more than welcome to. All right, we got a Corona. All right, we got to get out of
It's
here.
bless you, not Corona. Have y'all noticed that too? And anyone sneezes around you, like, instead of saying God bless you, now people are saying Corona.
Well, I don't know. Just making it aware. All right, thanks for doing this. Maybe we'll do more podcasts. It's not quarantine, but it's because you're out there in the world, you know.
Yeah. I had to, because then I was going to lose my job.
I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you went back to work. I'm just saying I can't believe that your work is making you go back to work.
Yeah. It wasn't very nice.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you're listening to the whole thing, my wife really doesn't really hate me.
I don't. I love him so much.
I love you too. Oh, here's another thing. How come you don't have a nickname for me?
What do you mean? What's my nickname?
Love.
No, you say that you call me Love because sometimes you forget my name.
That's a joke.
Okay.
All right. Laters.
Bye.